Hey, mamas. This is Rebekah Kerney. Tiffany asked me to share with you kind of a few thoughts during this kind of crazy time that we're having. And I was having a hard time, actually. She asked me a few weeks ago, and there's just so many things, that I'd like to say. Like, you're doing a really good job, and this is hard, and this is hard for all of us, and what you're doing matters, and all of that kind of stuff. That's important, and it's important that you know that you're not what you do, right? That, like, even if you mess up really bad today with your kids, you're still a really good mom. That's important. And you're not the sum of your successes or your failures. You're a child of God. That's really important. And there's like all this important stuff, but I was wondering, like, what's the right thing, you know? Like, what's the thing that people need to hear, or moms need to hear, or you guys need to hear during this season? And I was praying, and this Bible story came to mind, and it's the story of Moses. And it's a story of when Jesus, or not Jesus then, I mean, Jesus and God, they're like BFFs. But when God spoke to Moses and he asked him to lead the Israelites, and Moses was like, "You are out of your mind." and he didn't say it like that, but that was the spirit behind it. And he's saying, they're not going to listen to me. No one's going to listen to me. And God said, "Moses, what is in your hand?" He said, "A staff." And he said, "Yeah, throw that staff down." And the staff became a snake. And Moses, and it's funny, in the story, Moses like runs away because he's like, "Snake!" He's not stupid. He lives in the Middle East. The snakes are real over there. And then he's like, "Take your hand and put your hand in your garment." And pulled his hand out, and his hand was like leprous, right? And so and then he like put it back in again, and it came out and it was clean. And so, Moses didn't have all these great tools. He didn't have, a golden scepter where he could just be like, "Let my people go." He didn't have, the right levels of influence to, influence the Pharaoh like legislatively or any of that stuff. And I think about like how unequipped we feel a lot as moms, and how unequipped we feel just as people. Like, man, this is new, right? Like if I would have known that I was going to be like home, working from home with my kids for all this time, I would have maybe equipped myself a little different. Or maybe I would have like, I don't know, bought a bigger house or a bigger yard. There's all these times that we just feel so inadequate and so unequipped. But what God says to us is, what is in your hand? What is it that you have? What are the things that you're working with? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? And then allowing God to transform that into a strength, into a sign. Because what God did is he took Moses's wooden staff, which was, herding sheep, and he used it to make a sign demonstrating his power and his strength. And so whatever it is that you have in your hand today, whether it's cranky kids, whether it's neighbors who are maybe in need, whether it's a talent of cooking or baking or, whatever it is that is in your hand today, what's in your hand? What does God put before you? And then how is God able to take what you have and use it as a sign of his glory and of his goodness to the world around you? So take a second now, as soon as the video ends, and ask God to show you what he has put in your hands today. And then ask him to show you how he wants to make that a sign of his goodness to the world around you. Because I promise you, he does. I promise you that the crankiest kid is an opportunity to show God's grace to that child. And I promise you that our neighbors in need are looking for someone to love them. And I promise that the people who you can make a phone call to or shoot a little text to are looking for a sign of God's goodness. So hang in there. You can do this. We love you. Remember, if you need anything at all, reach out to your MOPS crew. Reach out to Tiffany. Of course, you can always reach out to me. We care about you. You're important to us. Have a good day.